Hello Mark, I'm Shelley. Now I'm going to read the article. 35 Taiwanese foods we can't live without. From mountains of flavor-shaved ice to chicken cutlets as big as your face, Taiwanese eating always comes with superlatives. Taipei travel essentials, passport, cash, extra stomach, snow eats, and a lot of them are the big thing in Taiwan. The culinary philosophy here is eat often and eat well. Sure, there's the internationally accepted 3 meals a day dining format, but why be so limited when you can make like the Taiwanese and indulge in gourmet snacking at any time of the day? The Taiwanese capital, Taipei, has around 20 streets dedicated to snacking. Every time you think you found the best street side the most incredible stinky tofu or mind-blowing beef noodle soup, there's always another Taiwanese food shop that surpasses it. The island's food is a mashup of the cuisine of the Minnan, Teochew, and Hokkien Chinese communities, along with Japanese cooking. It's a culinary loving with diversely delicious offspring. Arguments about the best food on Taiwan risk ruin relationships and lifelong friendships. Food is serious, it's respected, it's all excellent in Taiwan. First, braised pork rice. Where there's a wisp of smoke, there's braised fatty pork with rice. Where there's a wisp of smoke from the kitchen chimney, there will be Liu Fan, braised pork with rice, goes the Taiwanese saying. The popularity of this humble dish cannot be overstated. Liu Fan is almost synonymous with Taiwanese food. The Taipei city government launched a braised pork rice is ours campaign last year after Michelin's Green Guide Taiwan claimed the dish was from Shandong province in mainland China. A good bowl of Liu Fan comprises finely chopped, not cooked minced pork belly, slow cooked in aromatic soy sauce with 5 species. There should be an ample amount of fattiness, in which lies the magic. The meat is browned over hot rice. A little sweet, a little salty, braised pork rice is comfort food perfected. Jing Fan Liu Fan 10 Roosevelt Road, Section 1st, Zhanghan District, Taipei City. Nothing like a good Taiwanese food debate centering around beef noodles. Second, beef noodle. You know a food is an obsession when it gets its own festival. Beef noodle soup inspires competitiveness and innovation in chefs. Everyone wants to claim the title of Beef Noodle King, from visiting New Baba for one of the most expensive bowls of beef noodle soup in the world, TW $10,000 or $334 to a serendipitous foray into the first makeshift noodle shack you spot. It's almost impossible to have a bad beef noodle experience in Taiwan. Ling Dong Fan's beef shanks with al-dente noodles in herbal soup are a perennial favorite. The street-side eatery's secret weapon is the dollop of homemade chili butter added last. The oyster omelette, Taiwan's quintessential snack. Third, oyster omelette. Here's a snack that really showcases the fat of the land in Taiwan. You've got something from the sea and something from the soil. The eggs are the perfect spoil for the little oysters easily found around the island, while sweet potatoes starch is added to give the whole thing a gooey chewiness, a signature Taiwan food texture. No wonder the soup was voted best snack to represent Taiwan in a poll of 1,000 Taiwanese by Global Views Monthly a few years back. Chewy and refreshing. Bubble tea. Fourth, bubble tea. Bubble tea represents the QQ food texture that Taiwanese love. The phrase refers to something that is especially chewy, like the tapioca balls forming the bubbles in bubble tea. It said this unusual drink was invented out of boredom. Liu Han-chi threw some sweetened tapioca pudding into her iced Assam tea on one fateful day in 1988, and the great Taiwanese culinary export was born. Variations on the theme include taro-flavored tea, jasmine tea, and coffee served cold or hot. Chun Shui Tang Tea House. More on CNN Go, who invented bubble tea. Amateur fish eaters should watch out for the bones. Fifth, milkfish. How popular is milkfish in Taiwan? So popular that it has its own themed museum in Anping, and there is Milkfish Cultural Festival in Kaohsiung. The bony fish must pose a challenge for amateurs, but is loved for its tender meat and economical price tag. Milkfish is prepared in numerous ways, in the congee porridge, pan-fried as fish bowl soup or braised for home-style preparation. Retro izakaya-style restaurants James Kitchen serves pan-fried milkfish with lime. A bowl of scallion lard rice is a great compliment. Thankfully, we no longer have to wait for the slack season to eat this. 6. Slack season, Benzao noodles. You've gotta love a place called Slack Season, and it should be one of the first pit stops on any culinary trip to Taiwan. The iconic eatery originated in Tainan about a century ago. A fisherman sold noodles during the slack fishing season, and the joint became so successful he put his original trade altogether. The signature bowl of slack season noodles is served in shrimp soup with bean sprouts, coriander, minced pork, and fresh shrimps. The bowl of comforting flavors is so addictive that a man from Tainan supposedly ate 18 bowls in a row at the restaurants. Slack Season Tainan Men's Store 6 Pan-fried buns, bigger and better in Taiwan. 7th, pan-fried bun. Like the fluffiness of cake and the crunchiness of potato chips, the pan-fried bun gives you the best of both worlds. The buns are made with spongy white Chinese bread that is pan-fried on the bottom. Break one open to reveal the moist porky filling. A Shanghai-ness double. The Taiwanese version differs in two ways. It's slightly bigger in size and it hits the pan upside down. Dear Guabao, you're the Big Mac of our eye. 8th, Guabao is a hamburger, Taiwan style. A steamed bun sandwiches, a hearty filling of braised pork belly, pickled Chinese cabbage, and powdered peanuts. The filling is chopped into small pieces and mixed together, so there's a bit of everything in every bite. Western hamburgers might benefit from the same treatment. Take a big mouthful and enjoy the salty, sour and sweet flavors and the greasy pork swimming in your mouth. Urban legend says you can play ping pong with iron eggs. Ninth, iron egg. Iron egg. It's called iron egg because it's so tough. These chewy eggs, little eggs dyed black from long braising in soy sauce, are highly addictive Taiwanese food, often made from quail's eggs. The protein balls are cooked for hours in soy sauce, then air-dried. The process is repeated over several days until the snacks become tough and acquire the desired amount of chewiness. Pineapple cake. Take it home with you. 10th, pineapple cake. This iconic Taiwanese pastry, many pies filled with candied pineapple, is one of Taiwan's best food souvenirs. For one of the best pineapple cake experiences, try Sunny Hills, which uses only local pineapples. The result is a darker filling, rougher texture, and a sour taste. The pies at other shops are filled with a mix of pineapple and chewable bits of winter melon. They have the fruity sweetness and the golden casing of crumbly, buttery pastry. Stores that replace pineapple completely with winter melon to cut costs are committing a big no-no. You can add soup to the scraps and slurp it up. 11th, tempura. Tempura refers to fish paste that's been molded into various shapes and sizes, deep-fried, then boiled in a broth. Before eating, the pieces of solid fish paste are taken from the broth and smothered in brown sauce. Doesn't sound like much, but tempura delivers plenty of sweet flavors and chewy textures, making it a beloved Taiwanese food. The food is basically a Taiwanese take on Japanese oden, with more sugariness, tougher fish cakes, and a signature sauce. When you finish the bits of fish cake, there's more to come. Get some soup from the vendor and add it to the remaining sauce in a bowl. Mix and drink the resulting flavor bomb. Bao dumplings for giants. 12th, Bao Bao is a Taiwanese mega dumpling made with the dough of rice flour, corn starch, and sweet potato starch. It looks almost translucent after cooking. Pork, veggies, and sometimes eggs are stuffed inside and gravy poured on top. It's believed Bao was invented during times of scarcity. The simple pork dumpling became a luxurious snack enjoyed only during the Lunar New Year festival. Great Taiwanese street food, boneless and bite-sized. 13th, fried chicken. Taiwan deserves a special place in the fried chicken Hall of Fame. Not only has it made the giant fried chicken cutlet, number 35 on this list, a cult classic, but its popcorn chicken is dangerously addictive. The chicken is chopped into bite-sized pieces, marinated, dipped in butter and deep-fried. A generous sprinkling of salt and pepper complete the Moorish morsels. It's a ubiquitous snack on the city streets. Taiwan's food porn queen. 14th, flaky scallion pancake. There are few things more appetizing than the sight of a flaky scallion pancake being slowly torn apart. Add cheese and egg fillings to maximize the visuals. Devour this night market staple in a few bites to ensure it stays steaming hot and chewy. Oyster vermicelli, taste of the sea. 15th, oyster vermicelli. A bowl of great oyster vermicelli should have a thick, flavorful soup base, while the thin rice noodles and oysters retain their distinct texture. Some people add chopped intestines for a funky dimension to the soup. It's a gooey, slurpable dish with an intense burning taste. You need two hands to eat this Taiwanese food, one to hold your nose. 16th, stinky tofu. This could be the world's premier loved or hated snack, and Taiwan does it just right. The fragrant cube of bean curd is deep-fried and draped with sweet and spicy sauce. If you hold your nose, it looks and tastes just like a plain old piece of fried tofu with a crisp casing and soft center like pudding. But what's the fun in eating that? Inhale deeply and release the stench. The smellier, the better. Its golden is in the shape of Taiwan. What's not to like about sweet potatoes? 17th, sweet potato. Leaving taste, smell, and nutritional value aside, the sweet potato stands out for one particular reason among Taiwanese food. It's shaped a bit like the island. Taiwan grown sweet potatoes are added to soup with ginger, roasted by street vendors in ovens, converted from oil drums ground to a flour, and added to other dishes to give texture, or fried into sweet potato chips. As long as the beloved root vegetable is in it, Taiwanese love it. Taiwan's summer blockbuster is the shaved ice mountain. 18th, shaved ice mountain. One good thing about the hot, humid, and stormy Taiwan summers is the excuse to eat shaved ice mountain. A pile of shaved ice is heaped with fresh fruit and flavorings such as mango pieces, juice, and sweet condensed milk. The result is super appealing just by looks alone. A more traditional take uses freshly made mini rice balls. So good that we ate half of it before remembering to take a photo. 19th, paper cakes. A must-try at Wellhe Night Market. Pepper cakes are crispy pastry pockets filled with juicy pork that's infused with the aromatic bite of black pepper. Baked on the wall of a clay oven, the pies are delicious ode to the pepper plant. Eat more than one, or you have to wait again in a long queue for more. Ding Tai Fung. Gasps are heard with each squirt of soup. Dumplings at Ding Tai Fung Dumpling House. Xiaolongbao may be a Shanghainese delicacy, but some argue that Taiwanese perfected it. Taiwanese restaurants Ding Tai Fung does its Shanghai comrades proud with its succulent pork soup dumplings. Ding Tai Fung's bite-sized xiaolongbao have a consistently high quality. Their paper-thin wrappings hold rich hot-boiled and tender pork meatballs. Gasps can be heard intermittently at Ding Tai Fung as diners brave the scattering hot soup that squirts out upon biting the dumplings. 21st, fish bowl soup. What's better than fresh seafood? Bowls of fresh seafood, of course. Look for handmade fish bowls in Taiwan that tend to have more air in the bowl, thus allowing more broth to be soaked up. They also have the bouncier chew. 22nd, ribs stewed in medicinal herbs. This is the Taiwanese version of baked the Chinese meat soup, that's also popular in Singapore and Malaysia. In Taiwan, the soup is located in Chinese medicine, extracting the essence from pork bones and more than 14 nutritious herbs, nuts, and dried fruits. It's yummy and good for you, too, especially for keeping warm in winter. There isn't much meat on the lean bones, but the point of the dish is the soup. Don't be shy to pick the bones up and suck the juice off. You might even be considered strange if you don't. 23rd Goose. Geese bred on Taiwan farms are never wasted. From the skin to the blood, they are made into delicious dishes. Salted and smoked geese in Hawaii are revelatory. Every bite of the juicy goose meat with slightly smoked skin tastes like a pure celebration of poultry. Or you could try one of Bistro de Pon's bowls of steamed rice topped with goose, chili oil and XO sauce. The rice grains rice are an ideal vehicle for goose fat and flavor. 24th, Ding Bian Ku. Ding Bian Ku is a bowl of slippery rice flour pasta. Rice flour batter is poured along the side of the huge heated wok, sliding and spreading along the hot metal, and forming slices of rice flour noodle. When dried, the sheets are cut into smaller pieces that become very thin and very chewy noodles when cooked as Ding Bian Ku. Jia Ding Bian Ku is a century-old family business, as Ding Bian Ku is served with handmade pork cakes, shrimp cakes, cabbage, deli, and bamboo shoots. 25th, Taiwanese sausage with stinky rice. Taiwanese pork sausage alone is a superstar at night markets, but when served as a snack, translated as little sausage inside big sausage, is possibly unbeatable. It's like a hot dog, but instead of a bun, stinky rice is stuffed inside sausage casing to make an oversized rice sausage that's then split open to stuff in the pork sausage, so it's a little sausage inside a big one. Get it? 26. Mochi. These glutinous rice balls are stuffed in marshmallows and filled with sweet or salty things. The most traditional mochi are filled with red bean paste and rolled in peanut powder. But in recent years, strawberry jam, sesame paste, green tea jam, and peanut paste have become popular fillings. You can learn how to make mochi at the Royal Taiwan Mochi Museum, around $5 US per person. 27th, Lantern soy sauce braised food. No matter what you choose from the Lantern Way food stall, it'll take the taste of the signature 5-spice soy sauce. It's a little sweet, not too salty, and very aromatic with cloves, star anise, cinnamon, and other spices. Pick your preferred ingredients and the chef will cook it in a spot of special sauce. It's a perfect light meal before a big night out. You should expect to wait in line, as the chef never rushes. He takes his time to allow the food to absorb the sauce. 28th, sun cakes. Originating in Taichung, the sun cake is just a flaky pastry filled with maltose. And yet the sweet nothing has come to represent Taichung City and is a souvenir sought out by visitors. Countless sun cake shops flourish in Taichung, all claiming to be the original store, but maybe it's time for them to shine. The genuine original sun cake store, Tai Yan Bakery, closed down when the 68-year-old boss decided to retire. 29th, tube rice pudding. Stinky rice and Chinese mushrooms are fried with seasoning and stuffed into a bamboo tube together with pork and egg. The tube of rice is steamed again to further soften the texture until it becomes a cylindrical pudding. Dao Kui Tao started making its rice pudding in a stall under a bridge more than four decades ago. The business has since expanded, but the rice pudding stays the same. You should be sure to add the homemade turnip-laced sweet spicy sauce to the tasty. 38th, Taiwanese breakfast. 3 elements to start a day right with Taiwanese food include sesame flatbread, deep-fried Chinese donut, and soy milk. Blogger John H. from The Hungry Girl's Guide to Taipei says her favorite breakfast is from Wuhan. I love the thick sesame flatbread in Wuhan because it has a slight sweetness, a thin crispy layer, and soft center from coming straight out of the hot metal barrel. Many sesame flatbreads are dry and flaky, but Wuhan shows why there's often a half-hour wait there on the weekends. 31st, pig's blood rice pudding. This mix of pig's blood and stinky rice is stuck on the end of a stick like a lollipop. For the final Taiwanese touch, the pudding is coated in a sweet peanut powder. Basketball star Jeremy Lin Shu Hao named pig's blood rice cake as one of his favorite snacks on his recent visit to Taiwan. If it's good enough for Lin, it's good enough for us. 32nd, 3-cup chicken. 3-cup chicken is cooked in a cup of rice wine, a cup of oil, and a cup of soy sauce. To this Taiwanese culinary triumvirate is added fresh basil, chilies, and garlic for an irresistible combination. Some kitchens have a different definition of 3-cup chicken, involving a cup of wine, a cup of sesame oil, and a cup of sugar. 33rd, Tamshu ake. Ake comes from the Japanese aborage, which are deep-fried tofu pockets. Taiwanese ake are stuffed with mung bean noodles and sealed off with fish paste. A typical sweet spicy sauce completes the snack. The tofu soaks up the soup is cooked in, so each bite bursts with broth, paired with the soy milk. The ake makes a great savory breakfast. 34th, Bantiao. Bantiao flat rice noodles has such a rapid following that many Taiwanese will drive long distances in search of the most authentic bowl. The thick, flat, slippery noodles made from glutinous rice are part of the Hakka culinary tradition and best sampled in Kaohsiung's Menlong district. Stir-fried bantiao with pork has a rustic taste and texture. Many find the dish more comforting when served in hot soup. 35th, hot style large fried chicken. According to a Taipei Times report of 2011, Taiwanese devour more than 250,000 fried chicken cutlets a day, piled atop each other. That would make a chicken cutlet tower 10 times as tall as Taipei 101, the island's tallest skyscraper at 508 meters. Go to Hotstar for the original oversized chicken cutlet, the enormous slice of meat, as big as your face, is very moist with a crispy crust. A generous coating of 5-spice powder and pepper gives it a kick. Starting as a small counter at Shilling Night Market, Hotstar is now a Taiwanese food franchise present in Hong Kong, Malaysia, and Singapore. 36. Anything with cuttlefish. Taiwan gets a lot of cuttlefish, and grill stations spiked with cuttlefish skewers can be found everywhere in the southern tip of the island. Although the thick cuttlefish soup with herbs and veggies is a typical Taiwanese winter warmer, one of the best ways to enjoy the mollusks is fresh out of sea water, straight onto the charcoal grill. A smoky aroma, dark grill marks, glistening grilled fish edges, and listings of salt and pepper make up the scene. 37th, very wibbly and hardly tasting of anything. Ale jelly, taste on the flavor of whatever is eaten with Added to lemonade and shaved ice for a refreshing summer drink, the jelly gives the liquid a firm, grippy texture. 38th. Pea-dan tofu. Black, white, and thinly blend pea-dan tofu isn't a likely candidate for a love-at-first-bite fan, but after a few tries it becomes a minor addiction for many eaters. Pea-dan or century egg is a duck egg preserved in clay with seasonings. With time, the egg white turns into a translucent black jelly, and the yolk develops a unique flavor. It's topped with seasoned oil, vinegar, soy sauce, coriander, chopped spring onion, and sometimes pork floss. Mash it up, and it's ready to eat. Widely available at local restaurants. 39th. Steamed spring roll. Describe it as the non-deep fried version of spring roll would be unfair, as round bean. Steamed spring roll was invented before the spring roll. Every Taiwanese household has its own recipe for round bean. During festivals, families gather at the table to have a round bean wrapping party. Each person chooses their own fillings from a buffet and rolls their own round bean. Besides serving delicious round bean, Xinye at Taipei 101 also offers an incomparable view of the city. 48th. Spicy hot pot. Taiwanese are mad for spicy hot pot. Who wouldn't be? The bubbling pots of broth are filled with all sorts of Chinese herbs and spices to create a rich flavor for olive oil, fresh ingredients that dinners will dip into it. New hot pot places pop up in Taiwan every day, each with the gimmick to attract insatiable hot pot dinners. There's all-you-can-eat hot pot and yakiniku served at the same table. There's bubble tea hot pot for the jaded, but it's ordinary spicy hot pot with quality ingredients that stand the test of time. While Taiwan's spice levels don't come close to Chongqing's, they're pretty piquant. Head to perennial hot pot favorite and celeb magnet, Taihondian for glam Taiwanese hot pot experience. 41st. Tiger striped chicken guabao. At many places, tiger striped chicken guabao can be thought of as Taiwan's answer to the Big Mac. At old new restaurants in Kaohsiung, however, the humble dish gets an upscale treatment. The restaurant uses pumpkin and edible bamboo charcoal powder to create a yellow and black striped bun, then fills it with deep-fried and braised chicken fillets in soy sauce and tomato sauce. The result is a sweet and sour flavor that's different from typical guabao. 42nd. Chicken wing rice roll. The chicken wing rice roll makes the impossible possible. Eating chicken fried rice in a night market with one hand, a boneless chicken wing is stuffed with fried rice and marinated in a heavenly combination of sesame oil and secret sauce. It's so good it started a chicken wrapped rice craze in Kaohsiung's Wilfen Night Market with various fillings such as kimchi fried rice and curry rice. 43rd. Giant pork bowl soup. The best pork bowls are made from fresh meat, hand-ground and pounded with the mullet until it attains a doughy texture. The giant pork balls in stock soup from Taipei's Ninja Night Market are as big as a baby's fist. Their size, as well as the air holes pumped in the meatballs during the pounding, works in an amazing amount of juice and flavor. The Chinese name illustrates the experience of eating one vividly. The literal translation is bursting juice giant pork balls. Pork balls are sometimes mixed with ingredients such as Chinese mushrooms and cuttlefish to enrich texture and add flavor. 44th. Wu Pao Chao bakery breads. Bread in Taiwan? Seriously? We hear you thinking, but this isn't just any bread. Any bread we're talking about is from wk.11, a world baking champion with many award-winning loaves to its name. The bread that won the international baking competition Capital Monde de la Boulangerie in 2010 is the bakery's lychee rose bread. It's made with millet wine, lychee, and rose petals. Wu Bao-chang also won the Louis Lasseter Cup in 2007 and a silver medal at the 2008 Bakery World Cup. Another signature of the store is one longan bread with smoked longans, French wine, and California walnuts. 45th, Bientong. A lot of Taiwanese have a love-hate relationship with Taiwanese Bientong bento, the takeaway lunchbox that packs rice with the main dish, usually a type of meat, a small, often unappealing side dishes such as fried and preserved vegetables. It's a convenient, quick, cheap, less than $3, and generally decent way to eat. Bientong isn't one of the most delicious foods in Taiwan, but it's a staple for countless working parents and busy urbanites. Bento with chicken cutlet is a good Bientong choice. Thank you, Mark. Bye-bye, Mark.